My bad.
Prosecutors say they are going to try this case again. Court TV anchor Julie Grant joins me now. You've been following this very closely. Can you give us some sense of this case and what some of the key evidence was that you think left the jury just unable to determine a verdict in this case?
Sarah, good morning. Great to be with you. Both sides fought hard. And I think a lack of really from both sides was problematic. Some of the defense was heard in the courthouse steps long before the trial ever began that Karen was framed. The Commonwealth that prosecutors are held to higher standards than private attorneys. They can't make extrajudicial statements that could prejudice a defendant. So the Commonwealth was quiet. We were always hearing one narrative. And it seemed like the Commonwealth was doing everything they could to combat the narrative that the defense put out, more so than focusing on their case, which element by element, they were trying to prove a homicide by vehicle while DUI. And they kind of tried the case backwards, Sarah. They started calling witnesses who were out that night with victim John O'Keefe and defendant Karen Reed, and they told the story in a way that was confusing. And then the defense was very loudly started to talk about the but it never happened in the courtroom. So people were kind of waiting and waiting to hear who these perpetrators were, and the defense never put forth that burden of what's called production. So I think on both sides, Sarah, it was a well-fought case, but there was a lot of confusion in both the story and in the evidence.
I want to ask you about a couple of things outside of court that were
Sarah, he's also a criminal defendant like Karen Reed is, and there's currently a separate state investigation going right now. There's a grand jury inquiry being done as to whether the two of them colluded for witness intimidation. Aiden Kearney, who goes by Boy, is currently charged with 16 felonies. And the cases are inextricably linked because the victims were witnesses to Karen Reed. So right now, we know that the investigation is public. Those two were on the phone for hours upon hours and had numerous phone calls. So investigators know that much, that there was heavy communication prior to trial between Karen Reed and Kearney. And he has a following, and he's largely encouraged his followers to create this movement to quote-unquote free Karen Reed, even though, Sarah, as you know, she's out on bond. She's not jailed.
State trooper who helped lead the investigation, he was actually relieved of duty because of some of the text messages that came out where he was talking about her body and what she looked like. Do we expect to hear from him in a mistrial?
Sarah, that after the mistrial, perhaps. That's a great question, Sarah. You know, so Michael Proctor, the lead investigator on this, this was a tough one because his conduct was disgraceful. The things he said, his unprofessionalism, it was inexcusable. And the Massachusetts State Police, you have to wonder if they felt as if he had any role in this hung jury, if his misconduct in terms of names he called Karen Reed had any part in this. The one thing that is key to understand about Proctor is there's no proof that he tampered with anything. So yes, he said terrible things. I think that's what he investigated. People that his family life, people with no knowledge of it. But when it comes to the actual claims that there's no evidence.
Okay, I'm gonna have to let this soak overnight.
If any other witness saw him collecting the pieces of Karen Reed's broken taillight at the scene, then the Commonwealth is okay. They can call that witness instead of him and leave him out of the case entirely. But if he was the only one to collect that evidence, they're going to be stuck with him, Sarah.
And then, of course, the defense is going to go go after him on calls. So this will be replayed all over again if prosecutors say that they will. Thank you so much for joining us to
Sure is. Oh, appreciate you, Sarah. Thank you for having me.
Kate?
New this morning, a bright spot perhaps for the Biden campaign today. The campaign reporting it hauled in $127 million in the month of June, a strong showing after some signs that its fundraising was slowing. The campaign counting it as June marking the campaign's best month of the cycle. This obviously does not yet factor in the real impact of the president's debate performance, as Democrats so fear. At the same time, President Biden is trying to turn the page a little bit, rally voters with a new warning about the danger he says Donald Trump presents to democracy in the wake of the Supreme Court decision.
Today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits that the president can do. This is a fundamentally new principle. It's a dangerous principle because the power of the office will no longer be constrained by the law, including the Supreme Court of the United States. The only limits are self-imposed by the president alone. I know I will respect the president's powers I had for 3.5 years. But any president, including Donald Trump, will now be free to ignore the law.
Stevens, Arlette Simons at the White House for us. Arlette, is hoping this brings them something of a course correction?
Well, okay, President Biden is trying to use the Supreme Court ruling on immunity to turn attention back to one of the key tenets of his presidential campaign at a time when his team is continuing to grapple with the fallout after Biden's halting debate performance. Now, the president, in remarks here at the White House last night, warned that Donald Trump poses a threat to American democracy. He said that this Supreme Court ruling fundamentally impacts the power of the presidency and said it would embolden Trump to do whatever he pleases whenever he wants. The president said that voters should look at this ruling and dissent at the ballot box in November. At the same time, the Biden campaign is also seizing on Trump's legal team, indicating that they want to challenge the verdict to that Hunter trial after this immunity ruling. A campaign spokesperson saying, quote, today's decision is an affront to the rule of law and the very ideals our country was built on. But it has nothing to do with Donald Trump being convicted of 34 felonies for paying hush money to a porn star and then breaking the law to cover it up. It comes as the Biden campaign is looking for some type of reset. As a campaign debate around Donald Trump and his threatened democracy.
Where are my regulars at? I need to know where my regulars at.
As the Biden campaign behind the scenes has been working the phone, trying to ease concerns of many anxious Democrats. Something that Biden's team has been hearing from allies is they want
to talk regulars.
They're doing more non-scripted moments, things like news conferences or town halls. Senior advisors are considering the possibility of they do have that one bright spot when it comes to fundraising, raising $127 million in June and ending the month with $240 million cash.
Where my regulars at?
Because that will help them buy advertisements, open campaign offices, and hire more organizers. But still, many questions loom for President Biden and his campaign about the path forward at a time when many Democrats are thinking about what they need to see Biden
All right, with us now, Jason Osborne, former senior advisor to the Trump campaign in 2016, and CNN political commentator Paul Begala. Paul, I do want to start with you because of new comments from Congressman Mike Quigley, Democrat from Illinois. We just heard from Arlette about how the Biden campaign is trying to calm nerves among the Democratic Party. I'm not sure it's working with Congressman Quigley. What I'm stressing out of my respect and understanding for President Joe Biden, a very proud person who has served us extraordinarily well for 50 years. I just want him to appreciate at this time just how much an impact, not just his race, but on all the other races coming in November. wasn't just one horrible night, Congressman Quigley says, and he admits to biting his tongue there. What do you read into that?
Oh, I don't have to read anything. I've not talked to Congressman Quigley, but I've talked to a lot of politicians and a lot of members of the Democrats, of course. That's what they're saying. I think the key moment, the peril of this debate collapse for Biden is not over. The key moments are going to be as we head into this 4th of July weekend. Everyone, they're all going to march in their community 4th of July parade. What they hear from their fellow Democrats in their districts is going to matter a lot. Maybe they will hear, hey, he's a great guy. Stick by Joe. Don't stab him in the back. He delivered us from Trump. He can win. But maybe they're going to hear more like Mike Quigley saying, look, it wasn't just a bad night. It was a collapse, and we got to get a new candidate. They will come back after this 4th of July, and you're going to hear, and I think that's when this thing, one way or the other, is going to be resolved.
And Paul, what about what people are hearing from the Biden campaign in the White House when they do raise concerns, which is bedwetter, pearl clutcher?
I'm trying to say this is more stupid or more petty. And I think it's more stupid because they need to be strategic here. They need to reach out to people who are upset. Look, obviously, I'm one of them. They need to make their case. And if you insult people, go after your allies. That was a bad debate for Joe Biden and any Democrat because otherwise he's just not watching.
I was part of the historic audience who tuned in to CNN across many different platforms to see what was truly an argument against President Trump, former President Trump, at least in terms of framing where things are. After the Supreme Court decision expanding presidential immunity, what President Biden actually said is you have to be extra careful now about electing Donald Trump because there are no guardrails. Isn't there an audience for that?
Only stopgap to prevent President Trump, if he wins, if he beats Joe Biden, we're the only thing stopping him from doing everything he wants to do to the detriment of the U.S. Not that I agree with that, but that would be the better play for Democrats going and attacking him to replace the nominee because the grass is not greener on the other. And who knows
I can tell you that is an argument that's being made by members of Congress running. They may be doing both at the same time, but many of them are saying it makes it all the more important now. If Biden stays in the race, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, the base is going to come home to Biden just like the base is going to come home to Trump. And so you're really targeting that 10 to 15% of the swing voters who were with Biden last time and would come back to Trump. Paul, you talked about July 4th here. What are the other than listening to the July 4th parade, which I really do hope they go to because they are beautiful things. Besides the July 4th parade, what are the other intervening events in the next 7 to 10 days?
So different analysts are looking at polling. I'm telling you, like kind of this. Politicians are often ahead of the polls. They really are. They have good antenna. And their prime objective is to be reelected. Okay, political parties, They're not a church which welcomes everyone. They're not a family, you know, like Robert Frost said, right? Home is a place where they have to take you in. The party doesn't have to do that. Parties exist to win. And that's what those members are going to do. They'll look at polling, they'll listen to donors, but I'm telling you, a couple of folks, you know, out of the Convention Hall on the 4th of July, they're going to have huge impact on Democrats. Democrats are still a Republican party. And I think that's where Biden's greatest either asset or peril is. I don't know yet. I mean, I have my suspicions. I think you're really negative things about Biden. That's the top of the ticket, but I could be wrong. But they're bringing that back to Washington.
All right. We'll see you in the next few days. Paul McGall, Jason Osborne, great to see you here in person. Jason, appreciate it. Sarah?
John, stick around. Because I want to and it's also a big
It's a heartbreak. Next time, get Dixie Ultra Plate. Stronger than the leading store brand. Dixie, make it right.
Can Aretha support your brain health?
Hey, Janet, hey!
And Fraser, Frank. Fred, how are you? Fred.
7 brain health indicators. Join the Aretha Brain Health Challenge.
Why do dermatologists worldwide recommend La Roche-Posay? Effective skincare like La Roche-Posay Double Repair Face Moisturizer delivers double action to help repair skin's barrier and provide 48-hour hydration for healthy-looking skin. La Roche-Posay.
Tap water. Okay.
Well, because
Whoa.
After Homoglow cleaned our place for $19, we fired our old housekeeper. Homoglow tackled everything, from our kitchen to our bathroom, all our laundry. You just pick a date, pick a cleaner, and enjoy a spotless house for $19.
Greatness hurts. But with care, you can keep chasing it. That's terminal. That's care without limits.
After my hair started thinning, my dermatologist recommended Nutrafol. The formulas are clinically tested. My hair is much stronger and longer. I feel like I'm a completely different person.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
This is the one who comes to everyone's say, an unsung hero in a building full of everyday heroes. It's just how he likes it. The industrial grade products you need. Call, click, or stop by. Granger for the ones who get it done. Itch, trash. Must not itch.
Stop the insanity with cortisone pen. For bye-bye, poison ivy and butter. Cortisone pen is number one doctor recommended. It works fast and lasts for hours. Cortisone pen.
All we have to do is just look at his eyes, and you know he's got it. The focus, the passion, the fearlessness, it's all right there staring back at you. There's no doubt he's doing exactly what he's meant to be doing.
At Ram, our calling is to build trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering.
Oh, my bed sure is uncomfortable.
Dracula, let's fight back against discomfort. The new Poly Grip Power Max Hold and Comfort. It has superior hold, plus keeps us comfy all day with its pressure-absorbing layer.
If you're not the dog, it would ask for it.
OCD is more than what you see on TV and in the movies. It comes with unrelenting, intrusive images, thoughts, and urges. If you have OCD and need help, you can get better with specialized treatment. Go to OCD.com to learn more.
You're afraid of.
What?
these messages.
FTB breaks down lessons from prison. Families need to know they're not imagining.
Nope, we don't do that here.
Evaporating before their eyes. Ask to see a normal trend.
Add that channel.
Fresh off their 18th NBA title, the Boston Celtics ownership group announced it's going to sell the team. ESPN reporting plans to sell a working interest in the team by the end of the year or early next year. It's reportedly valued at around $5 billion. The group purchased the team for $360 million back in 2002. That news comes the same day the Celtics reportedly handed star Jason Tatum a record contract. The 5-year, $314 million deal would make him the richest man in NBA history. Also, an Indiana Republican facing a weapons violation charge following a flight at Dulles Airport in Virginia. Representative Victoria Sparks, she says, her office says she accidentally carried an empty handgun in her suitcase last Friday. Didn't realize it was there. According to both Sparks and TSA, the gun had no magazines or bullets in it, but Sparks was cited but continued on her international flight to Romania for an annual assembly of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Okay.
But while there still remains a question of how far-reaching the implications will be of the Supreme
Where my
Court's decision on
regulators at?
presidential immunity, most immediately, in less than 24 hours later, we do know what it means for Donald Trump. His legal team now moving to leverage the decision granting president's immunity from prosecution for official acts to get his conviction in New York thrown out. Trump's legal team already filing to seek permission to challenge the guilty verdict. Here's how one of Trump's attorneys explained it on CNN just last night.
What we have in New York is a situation where a substantial number of official acts of the presidency, things that we believe are official acts, were used as evidence to support the charges in that New York trial. We believe that corrupted that trial, that indicates that jury verdict needs to be overturned. At the very least, we deserve a new trial where those immune acts will not come into evidence as the Supreme Court dictated today.
Joining us right now is former lead investigator for the January 6th Congressional Committee, Tim Hinkley, and Michael Gerhardt, constitutional law professor at UNC Chapel Hill. Thank you both for being here. Michael, before
I want to go ahead and get my cussing in now,
I want to hear your reaction.
because tomorrow morning
Majority opinion of
I'll be at Starbucks.
being just wrong. What do you see here?
And
I think this is
we don't want to cuss in case, you know, there are kids around. We don't want to do that.
creating new law.
Hey, what's up?
Unprecedented. Without any support in any legitimate source of constitutional law. The court goes well beyond its authority in trying to suggest
You done said hi.
immunity for the
Don't be
president
spamming here.
or former presidents. For example,
Don't
the
be
court
spamming or
talks
else
about how
my
there's
buddy will put you in timeout.
constitutionality. For anything the president says or suggests is official. That means, for example, if the president were to order SEAL Team 6...
Like I said, you know, I need my regulators in here.
Claimed, oh, I'm doing this,
My regulars in here.
then that act is
Don't spam.
unconstitutional. That's a whole new development in constitutional law, and it's a very disturbing one. There are other mistakes I think the court makes along the way, and so this decision is not, I think, the Chief Justice tries to assure us.
But I need my regulators in here.
All that radical. Instead, I think the Chief Justice articulates a number of things that really underscore how radical this decision is.
Not standing up. I done been standing up. I'm not standing up. When I stand up, I'm going to get something. No. Keep it up.
You and I have talked many times since, and what you've learned and seen in the evidence.
If you don't think that I won't block you, try me. You don't think I won't put your butt in timeout? Try me.
For the judge and the case that the special counsel has brought. What
Because
should happen?
you don't tell anyone to stand up, please. Where the fuck have you been?
I think what happens next is a full-on...
I'm grown. I stand up when I want to stand up, not when someone asks me to stand up. You out your mind. If you want to see that, go on Pornhub.
Considering the evidence the special counsel tends to present, and
determine whether
Thank you, Bradley.
admissible or bear upon the former president's culpability.
I stand up when I want to stand
I
up.
think that opens the door for the special counsel to
But like I said,
his entire case in a federal courtroom in Washington.
do you
Late this summer or this
see a
fall.
ring?
So all of the evidence.
Hello?
Development, the additional evidence.
Well, like I said, you know, I need my regulars in here. I need my regulars in here that I seen in other chats last night that I know of from other chats. We need to talk.
They plan to use the Supreme Court's decision to challenge his guilty verdict in the New York criminal trial. What do you think of that?
I think it's a really poor argument. I understand why they're making it.
Because I want to go ahead and get my cussing in now. Because, like I said, tomorrow morning, I won't be able to because I'm going to be at Starbucks. And I will be doing my live from Starbucks tomorrow morning. Everything is done being confirmed. 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 My ride is already designed, designated to pick me up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And
Some of the things we heard his attorney pointing to last night were,
I've already paid for it. You know, I do have
is how it was described. He
a
was
certain
saying
amount of cash on the side
from the president
that I'm able to add, and
that
it don't go
evidence
straight
is
to my
part
card.
of
Thank
the New York
God.
trial, which raises the question of just how far the tentacles, how
But I'm going to be
far-reaching
going
and
to
what
Starbucks, and I
is
do
it
have a
not?
Starbucks
It's
gift
a
card,
huge question.
which
Now,
I've had
Tim,
for
in some of the efforts
years.
to get the Justice Department to go along with
And
the false claims of widespread voter fraud, and
I'm
it's
going to
definitely
be
protected. And that's,
trying
it
out
has to be out of the special counsel from
how the
election
new
of the
Starbucks looks like.
How much is
I
left of the
think that
case
I'm a
against
little
Trump?
bit apprehensive about that.
Yeah, that's the question that Judge Chucky will have to answer. The special counsel will argue that the
But
vast majority of the
I'm gonna
conduct
miss out.
was
I'm gonna miss out hanging out at the coffee shops like I used to.
And Justice Roberts' opinion actually explicitly said.
Let's see how it is. See if it got that old coffee house feel.
Role as a political candidate. This is the argument that Mark Meadows in the Georgia case arguing for immunity there.
Hey, hey. I'm gonna put y'all on mute because I'm gonna have to step away for a little bit. up.
It's light, but it's working hard. Like me, Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Sunscreen.
Most people call
You were just timed out for 5 seconds.
They notice one of the many issues that can bring. Well, sometimes it's the smell of mildew when water has seeped into the interior walls, or maybe they've spotted mold in the end. But most often, it's the more obvious signs of damage, like rotten soft fascia or water pooling.
I'm back.
You can get ahead of costly damage by protecting your home today. We're in your neighborhood.
Go to the restroom.
Schedule your free gutter inspection today. Call 833 to leave filter.
Let me go and let me get my turn my iron before I eat this morning. You don't have to say hi to me every time. Let's see what I need. I'm gonna need that. I need that. And I would definitely need these two. What the fuck? Okay. Now this is going to get a little too close for comfort here.
This morning, we are looking at all of the major ways the Supreme Court's historic ruling on presidential immunity will impact not only Donald Trump's legal cases, but the future of all American presidents. With us now to discuss this, CNN legal analyst Norm Eisen and CNN presidential historian Tim Kelly. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in on this really consequential day. Norm, first to you. We know the expression, no person is above the law. We say it all the time. It is part of this conversation. Did the court just decide that actually there is someone above the law, the president?
Sarah, even the majority in this
reprehensible
opinion that represents a fundamental break with 2.5 centuries of American tradition pays lip service to the idea. They write, of course no one is above the law, but then they claim allowing the president to do things like commit political assassinations has no legal redress. Well, what's the meaning of their proclamation that a president is not above the law if he can engage in those kinds of conducts? This is one of the worst opinions in American history from the Supreme Court. A number of members of the have fatal conflicts. They were involved in they have spouses or other involvement, Alito and Thomas, in the underlying conduct, and they have indeed put the president above the law for certain actions.
This is for official acts. They were very specific. It's not personal actions, but official acts. Tim, I want to get to you about what this means for the role of the presidency moving forward, because it was based on Donald Trump's case and directly affects him, but it affects all presidents going forward, correct?
Okay.
Indeed, and I think Donald Trump is the beneficiary of a struggle among constitutional experts over the effects of the pushback against the imperial presidency in the Cold War. The court's majority includes people who were in administrations that faced that were in the midst of scandals. They're veterans of the George W. Bush administration, the Reagan administration. In many ways, the conservative majority seem to be arguing some very old cases in an attempt to remove
You're sick.
the possibility of criminal prosecution over future presidents. But in doing so, they have opened the door to presidential abuse of power. If you think about the ways in which Richard Nixon, Lyndon Johnson, John F. Kennedy made clear this is not a partisan problem, this is a presidential problem. The way in which they used national security to authorize wiretaps, for example, in the case of Nixon breaking into Daniel Ellsberg's psychiatrist's office, the ways in which
probably see something. I'm gonna definitely have to get my vaccine. Not vitamins out, but yes, I'm going
Tim, because you brought it up, I want to share with the audience something. It was sort of a joy to go back in history and look at what happened with Nixon and really dig down into that. I want to let people hear what Nixon said when he was asked the question about whether a president and what they do, if they're allowed to do something illegal in the course of their job that would be illegal to anyone else but the president. Here is how President Nixon responded when he was interviewed by Mr. Frost.
When the president does it, that means that it's not illegal, by definition.
I am not a crook. Yeah, you lying bastard bitch.
In this context, what the court has decided, Norm, does this mean that Nixon basically would have been able to do what he did?
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Without any recourse?
Right there.
You could have had
Oh.
substantial portions of Richard Nixon's wrongdoing that drove him from office because it was conducted from the Oval Office using his official
Oh, good. I was on my last,
in
my last packet.
break-ins, a wide variety of other illegal activity would have been impossible to prosecute. Essentially, what the Supreme Court majority, again, including terribly conflicted justices who have no business sitting on this case under any standard of judicial ethics. What they've done, Sarah, is rewrite American history. It goes all the way back to the founding American idea. We overthrew King George III because we did not want a ruler to have this kind of absolute immunity. And the Supreme Court has now...
I don't know you.
And we have to be honest that we're facing a major party political candidate who has said he wants to be a dictator on day one. He wants to...
Let me look at something here. I forgot to
They've just given
look in
him
the refrigerator.
license for dictatorship. Within the purview of official acts, that should be extremely alarming, and it makes this momentous election really a referendum on the future of American democracy.
Of course, you have the justice.
Oh, no, that's coming today.
Should be prosecuted for doing their job, whether it is saying, look, we're going to send people to war or something else. But there are some real big questions that we will all be asking as to what constitutes an official act and who gets to decide that. We will discuss that more in the days ahead. Norm Eisen and Tim Huffman, thank you so much for your insight. Kate.
Hurricane Beryl is the earliest Atlantic storm on record, carrying winds of 116 miles per hour. This Category 5 storm, it is on the move. We have an update on that.
Move, bitch. Move out the way.
Gynecologist, I'm embarrassed to say this. We use deodorant on our armpits, and we kind of make women feel bad about body odor that they get on other parts of our body. That's why I created Lumi Whole Body Deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond. It's clinically proven to block odor all day, controls odor for 72 hours. Soap can't do that. And since your pits and privates go everywhere you go, keep them confidently fresher with Lumi. That reassurance is priceless. To learn more, go to lumideo.com.
Advil targeted relief, the only topical pain reliever with 4 powerful pain-fighting ingredients that start working on contact to target tough pain at the source for up to 8 hours of powerful relief. Advil targeted relief.
Oh. Man, I love a good hotel breakfast.
Hey, can I send those to the stadium? I'm actually at the last room for $190. I booked the last room a week ago.
I booked yesterday. We made $140.
What?
Some people panic you into booking their last room. They don't have all the availability. Instead, use Trivago. Trivago compares hotel prices from hundreds of sites, so you can save up to $50 a night.
Shit.
At least I got the last ticket to the game. So did I.
Hotel Trivago.
When you're the leader, disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like a
That's my message to you. I don't own a car, bitch. Fuck you! Get out the way,
They
bitch!
want super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. Here's just nice clinical white, nice two shades wetter teeth.
If you don't like me, you ain't gotta like me.
When you buy or sell your car exactly how you want with cargo boost, you might begin to wonder, what if you could do things your way all the time?
Do I really care? Do I really give a damn?
Get your car your way. Get it with Gurus. Who says you can't celebrate Christmas in July? With this, you can bring the magic of Christmas to any time of the year. Watch live or record all your favorite Christmas in July movies on Great American Family. Record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite movies and shows. It's like having Christmas on demand. Now, let's enjoy some holiday magic, even in July. Celebrate Christmas in July with Dish and Great American Family.
Introducing the Ziva, the world's first hand-free sanders built for comfort. Heard that correct. Zivas are hand-free, meaning you put them on after you go around. We've simply designed a better shoe you can put on effortlessly. You've never seen a sneaker like this. Just take a look to the side. The way your foot slips right in effortlessly, and the way the back bends down and pops back up. You can take your shoe off just as easily. And these are designed to look and feel like any other pair of sneakers. Get your Zivas now at zivashoes.com.
Boo. Boo. Okay. I was in a lot of chat rooms last night. Not going to be as in much tonight because I said I got to get up early in the morning so I could get going to Starbucks. And I have my own situation, what I thought of the whole situation. Go ahead and let me. Paul, Stinky Fish.
Dating back to 1851. It's also the earliest Category 5 storm. The storm is now moving away from the Windward Islands, where it was described as being just 30 minutes to cause widespread.
How could you do that to Miss Daddy? How could you do that? That just shows me that I'm gonna use this in Britain terms. Pedophiles would go after their prey.
What are you learning about this?
Well, okay, President Biden later today is expected to talk about these new first-of-its-kind regulations that would extend protections to workers.
Now I'm putting ranch on my.
Extreme heat conditions. The president will be receiving a briefing on extreme heat
Oh,
and
my,
other climate-related issues expected for the summer.
Sausage and egg biscuit. I like a little bit of a difference. But
which will require that employers
let's
identify
bring this around. Oh man, damn.
develop heat illness and how employers could respond to keep their employees safe. It's also this new rule which would
I like a little bit of a different taste to it.
Would also call for implementing work standards, things like respirators.
How could you?
To shade and water while these workers
You went to.
are on the job.
How come you got to have so many people fighting your damn battles? And they turn you down one by one by one by one by one by one. But yet you go after someone who has a medical condition, and she said yes. How could you?
extreme heat warnings and advisories at a time also when there has been an increase in heat-related deaths in recent years. So part of what the
I fight
administration
my
is
own
trying to do
battles.
is show that they are doing something to help protect those workers working in extreme
They
weather
know who the
conditions.
fuck
So
I
for President
am.
Biden, this is also another opportunity for him to
They know
remind
who the
voters
fuck
of
I
his
am,
right
and I
to
do
fight
stand
climate
up.
change. That is something he tried to
I'll
bring up
stand
this
up
week.
for
And
online
President
friends,
Biden saying
just
that
say
climate
online
change is
friends,
a
don't say friends.
threat to this country. He believes that he has a platform and policies that he has rolled out to try to address some of those issues. And so we'll see how exactly President Biden prepares to make that argument a bit later this morning when he speaks at this briefing related to extreme heat.
You can say online friends.
All right,
There is
crowds
a
before
difference.
our eyes. Moments ago on CNN, did a Democratic congressman open the door to President Biden perhaps leaving the race? The doctors say a teenager was minutes from dying, but used first aid skills to save his own life.
These blueprints are gonna be reality. Let's go. But holiday disruption is nearly impossible. Oh, this is gonna be so good. It's gonna be unless you're trying to make it.
Look at me. Welcome home.
100 days remote. All new Sunday at 9 on HGTV.
I'm not here telling people how they can save money. I say, you can see your subscriptions.
We need that. Get started now. The Experian app.
I'm gonna go ahead and just like I said, get out of all my cursing out the way.
Heartburn makes you queasy. Get fast relief with new Calpis Plus. Upset stomach and nausea support. And love food back.
OCD is more than what you see on TV and in movies. It comes with unrelenting, intrusive images, thoughts, and urges. If you have OCD and need help, you can get better. Specialized treatment. Go to nocd.com to learn more.
I was just feeling sick. And it was the worst thing. What was
diagnosed with rhabdomyosarcoma.
Once we got the first initial hit, it was just straight tears, sickness in your stomach, just don't want to get up out of bed.
That sting. Well, you gotta look on the bright side. Tell me what the bright side of childhood cancer is.
It's a long road. It's hard.
But
St. Jude has gotten us through
he
it.
St. Jude
I'm
Children's
still
Research
skirting around
Hospital
up
day after day
around
to
the
find cures
the
and
question.
save the lives of children with cancer and other life-threatening
And someone
Thanks to generous
here is
donors like
my
you, families never receive a bill from
tape. You're not a therapist. A real therapist don't do that. Therapists don't make you feel creepy.
All the exceptional work that they do.
for just $19 a month.
You know?
Help us continue the life-saving research and treatment these kids need.
Thanks once a month. They are changing people's lives. And that's a big deal.
Join with your debit or credit card right now, and we'll send you this St. Jude t-shirt that you can proudly wear to show your support.
Our family is forever grateful for donations, big and small, because it's completely changed our lives and it's given us a second chance. St. Jude's not going to stop until
Oh,
every single
okay.
kid gets that chance to walk out.
You know, I have, when I do my hands like this, you know, I'm trying to. A loved one died from dementia. And that's my dad's, my granddaddy from my dad's side.
He found great products, uploaded new art, and had boxes sent to all the shops. Custom-made
Not
pieces.
only that it affects, was diagnosed with dementia.
Problem solver is another. Whatever the job calls for, we're here. We're
Beforehand, him and my dad, they weren't talking. And it was over something very serious. Very serious. Because my granddad's brother had dementia. And he came, I think he came down for a visit from nursing facility, and my granddad let him use the car. He wasn't supposed to drive. And that's what ended it all right there. Until the part to where he ended up with dementia. And you know, with people with dementia, they will fight. They will fight everyone. They don't know their own strength. They don't. When I saw my granddad twice, yeah. I mean, I think it was twice, I'm not sure, but he didn't recognize me. Whenever the earlier signs of dementia, he did not recognize me. He thought that I was his brother. No, not your brother. You know, you just play along with it. You don't get mad. You play along with it. And he looked at me straight in the face, and he said, "The next time I see you, you're gonna be married." Which I was close. But the last time I seen him, he was in the hospital, and he was fighting with the nurses so much they had to strap him down to the bed. And me and my mom, we went there, and he was just laying there with his mouth open. He had both of his hands tied down to the bed because, like I said, you know, with people with dementia, they don't know their own strength. You know, they will rip the IVs out of their arms and fight the doctors, fight the nurses, fight anyone that comes in. But they eventually moved him into a nursing facility. I mean, there is no way, you know, to actually explain this, but my dad would go there 3 to 4 times a week to see him. And the evils, that bitch, you know. And I use that term loosely. Would be there for the rest of the time. I ain't never seen anyone she's a whole section. I don't like her. I really don't care about her. But I have to be nice to her. That kills me every time. But when he died, I said once my granddaddy died, you know, she needs to move on, leave my daddy alone. But of course, you know, that never happened. You know, they talked on the phone 3 to 4 hours a night. For what? She promised him an acre of land. Come to find out, he never got it. She held that shit over his head like a cheese to a fucking rat. They, for years. But with me, you know, I really didn't care about her. The only time she really helped me out was whenever my mom died. And that's whenever I started having trouble walking again. I ain't heard from her. I ain't heard from her in years. And if she don't call and ask me how I'm doing, I don't say eat shit and die. I mean, I do say eat shit and die, bitch. That's not here or there to say.
Larry Mado, please keep yourself and your team as safe as possible as you're watching these protests unfold yet again there in the Capitol. Appreciate it. Josh.
Right, this morning, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she will introduce articles of impeachment against the Supreme Court over its ruling on presidential immunity. She called the court's ruling, quote, an assault on American democracy, and that the Supreme Court has become consumed by corruption crisis beyond its control.
AOC, I like
She
her.
added it is up to
She ain't from
Congress to
South
defend our
Carolina, but I like her.
from this authoritarian capture. Again, those are her words. But it's now seen
But
as Sunland Surfati, Sunland, how serious
dementia just has
Well, John, it certainly underscores the anger that Democrats
a different
on
meaning.
Capitol Hill are feeling in this moment in the wake of this ruling, and their desire to show mainly to voters that they're trying to do something. We've heard them pledge that they will move aggressively, legislatively, and we've heard this proposal from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to move articles of impeachment against the justices on the court. But notably, there's not much that they can do right now in a Republican-led Congress. So for the moment, these are just words and proposals. It's likely not going anywhere. Significant though, we are also hearing from Speaker of the
I got
House,
my
Mike
blood
Johnson.
sugar support
Notably
in
last
there.
night,
Damn, I
he
forgot.
responded to
Hold, please. I'll be right back.
his own response to the immunity ruling. They Johnson slammed Biden's response as despicable and dangerous, saying he's desperate now. This is Mike Johnson saying of Biden that now that he believes that Biden showed the country that he's unfit to continue, that he does not have the capacity to serve. So all of this, of course, wrapped up in a response to that huge ruling for the Supreme Court. John?
And as for the political campaign, something we've been talking about the idea that maybe we're beginning to see some cracks among Democratic members of Congress and the Biden campaign here. What's been happening for the last round?
Let's see. Yep, this is
That's
my
right,
blood
the
sugar
level of
support.
concern is only growing
Okay, these are the ones I
day
take
and
one a
frankly,
day.
our John, we just
Yeah, I
heard
take one a day with
just a
these.
few hours
I
ago,
forgot to get them out
Congress
yesterday.
would really show some openness to potentially replacing Joe
I ain't leaning over. What the fuck?
Congressman Mike Quigley on
Fuck you. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you need.
But I won't go beyond that out of my reach.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you need.
President Joe Biden.
If I want to have my camera up high, I have my camera up high. What the hell did I do?
An ally and a Democrat in the party. We also heard from Sheldon.
Cause you're not get used to. You saw this cussing, cause like I said, it's not gonna happen. I do need to record that video today. So I do have a video I'm going to record today, and it's going to be premiering tonight. I want to say right around 8, whenever you put your little ones to bed. And some of y'all grown-ups need to be watching this too. Need to be listening to this, you know.
Let's talk about that. Joining us right now is former Trump administration official Matt Mowers and Democratic strategist and co-founder of Lift Your Voices, Julie Radinsky. So we just heard.
I did do a little look through yesterday. I didn't actually read through the whole book, and I am so proud of this 5th grader. I am so proud of her. Oh, girl, the future is bright for you, baby girl. The future is so bright. The thing I like about the medicines in the packet, you're able to take it out and put it in your pocket. I should think this shit last night, Jenny.
Look, like any Democrat, Congressman Quigley and I, and any Democrat, we just want to beat Donald Trump. That's priority number one. Because of the Supreme Court decision yesterday, that threat to our democracy is becoming.
And that was the quickest.
And so, if Joe Biden is the best pathway to do that, then that's fine. If Joe Biden is not the best pathway to do that, then we need to find somebody who will. But the bottom line is, we need to beat Trump, and that's all that matters right now. How that's decided, who decides that, and what the tipping point is, that is what is not clear right now, literally, right? Because it seems the fallout is not over. What it looks like today.
Oh, I got something I can use my medicine in.
Look and feel the same for Democrats.
We're good.
We don't have to
We
Democrats don't have that
Gucci.
kind of, we don't have that kind of time.
I got something I can put my medicine in for tomorrow, so we good.
To him, pledged to him to be the nominee, so it's only up to the president. Now, the president has to make a decision. The president has to figure out,
Okay,
truly
make sure
look
y'all
in
are
the mirror
doing
and think about the fact whether he's the
scan.
best person to canvass forward in November. And that's something that I hope gets a lot of thought to over the course of July recess. I hope he hears from people not just in his own circle, but also from leadership in Congress and others. He doesn't need to listen to the pundits, he doesn't need to listen to us, but he does need to listen to people who look at polling. He needs to do some polling of his own quickly to see what the base of the Democratic Party wants. Look, this party has never won the majority of the white votes in St. Johnson. We need to know what voters of color want specifically, black women are the backbone of this party. We need to figure out whether jumping with Kamala Harris, if he drops out, is going to offend them. Like, there's so many things to consider for me, data and statistics, not find this intelligent. But Matt, on the data and statistics, on polling, I think that's one thing that you're looking for in terms of the next round of polling coming out and what what it looks like in the impact data. I'm curious if you have an idea for you. Yes, you're not in the business of helping Democrats, but in the business of analyzing data that's available. How big of a dip, I'll call it, do you think would be the threshold for any political party to start taking action beyond freaking out?
Well, you got to remember, going into the debate, Joe Biden's numbers were close to rock bottom. They truly were. If you look at it, even some pretty blue states, he was underperforming significantly. He was, polling that showed that he was actually down. Some of that was before the debate. Some of that sample was taken after the debate. You're not going to see the precipitous drop. The challenge is going to be you're going to see just enough for them to drop. They're not going to be able to find out if voters are so cemented at this point. They assumed he was probably his age was really impact going into the debate. He confirmed it because of the debate. And at least as of today, is still the second popular politician. Don't see it. Now look, admittedly not that being delegation, the Democratic National Convention, the delegates that convention are going to pass over the sitting vice president, who happens to be the first woman of color to ever have that position, to potentially become president. And so I'm not sure why the Democratic Party would trade Joe Biden. I'm not sure that's setting them up for success. And that's the predicament the Democrats find themselves in. And that's coming on the heels of some early state polls now coming out. There's not a ton of polling that's really reliable since Thursday night. But a new poll in New Hampshire came out yesterday showed Donald Trump beating Joe Biden by 2 points. Last time that same firm, or that same Joe Biden was Donald Trump by 10 points in December. Now it's like New Hampshire, even potentially New Jersey, which Julie and I both know well, are potentially competitive. The floor is falling out right now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is in terms of, unpopular candidates and unpopular politicians, that's been the conundrum throughout this race, has been both candidates are not like Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and so that's the phenomenon of the double hater. That's how this is watching for to indicate. I asked you what you're watching for because we're really in the middle of it, and so it's hard. I don't want to get in the place of like, what is it going to look like in 2 weeks? Unclear because we're in uncharted territory. But what do you really watch for or listen for? I think the 4th of July holiday is an important indication because that is when a lot of politicians are meeting and greeting and hearing from their constituents. But
just remember,
will you know?
Trump said
it's either
what Trump said about veterans.
Brigade, as has been described, the pushback has been by the Biden campaign against people who
Just
are
remember what he said.
This is something more that is not going to go away, and they really do need to deal with it.
That they were weak.
For you, is there a tipping point? Yeah, and Matt,
That they were weak.
Matt knows this, he goes to this for a living.
Bitch. Bitch.
And the rest of us in that, by the way, if any Republican lives in Jersey this year, I will go up to New Hampshire and I will buy you
I don't.
dinner. It's never going to happen. So let's take that poll with a grain of salt. Let's take that poll with a grain of salt. But I will also say this. Look,
protrude my
to look at real qualitative and quantitative data.
political views to anybody.
Anybody's gut is
is not the way to go here. What we need to do is
Fuck
look at,
you.
as I said, I want to see a sample for voters of color with a huge oversample, specifically of black women, to see where they think this party needs to go. They are the backbone of the Democratic Party, and that is right. You jump over Kamala Harris, the first woman of color. How does that affect Democratic turnout?
Let me just, I was just handed this, a tweet
But
by,
I won't be doing any cussing tomorrow in public. There may be kids around, and you gotta watch your language.
we have to rip the Band-Aid
Plus, I'll be
off.
eating some good food from Starbucks, which I'm gonna pay for it with my Starbucks card.
Highlight choice issues, energize our base, bring back young.
Everything that
It's time.
when I pay for something, I make sure it's prepaid. If it's an option for me to use
I don't know. I mean, that's the real
on the
question, right?
payments tab to add cash to it, so I don't have to use the credit card.
We have seen flash
And,
polls,
yeah,
some of which are not reliable.
then we're gonna use cash. Just like with my Lyft. My Lyft is going to be used with cash.
Because they poll all day, every day, and the DNC should know if they don't know already. And that's something the rest of us must take a look at before we come to any conclusions.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's great to see you both. Thanks, guys. Let's continue this conversation. John.
Right, the sensational murder trial in Massachusetts has gripped the nation. A hung jury in the case of a woman accused of killing her police officer boyfriend.
The Situation with Walt Blizzard, 9 to 6 on CNN. July 4th on CNN Concert Event. Performances by Keith Urban, Ashanti, Dee Exum, The Killers, and many more. Eastern on CNN.
Summer's burning heat is here. And for many animals, help can't come fast enough.
These animals are suffering from rays of sun that they can't escape. They don't have access to any shelter or shade. They're licking the bottom of bowls that have been dry for days. These animals are dying from heat.
For many animals across the country right now, the suffering is
There are animals with no access to fresh water.
suffering in the fall or scan dollars a month can be the difference between life and death for an animal this summer.
There are situations in which an animal will lay down and they will give up because that honestly is they're better asleep from this reality.
And that's why we can't give up and why we need you right this minute before it's too late. Care to an animal who may not survive much longer. Say yes. Pull the animal out of the burning heat today.
Hey, what's up?
Join our monthly gift in the next 5 minutes, and we'll send you this welcome kit and one-of-a-kind t-shirt.
We know we are responsible
Oh
to
shit!
give them
Fuck.
shelter as soon as
Let's see
possible,
what time it
to
is.
give them that water.
It's 9 o'clock. Oh, more out. 78. Okay. Okay, Lord.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. New Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth and 24/7 sensitivity protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
Choose Advil Liquid Gels for faster, stronger, and longer lasting relief than Tylenol Rapid Release Gels. Because Advil targets pain at the source of inflammation. So for faster pain relief, Advil, the pain away.
Moving forward with positive breast cancer, one thing but not staying focused.
Medicine's taken, vitamins are taken. We're good. Now tonight, before I go to sleep, get my vitamins out 4 in the morning. Put them in the container and get all the medicines that I need to put in the container, and put it in my pocket, put it in my shoulder strap, and get ready for tomorrow. Not moving. Not moving, baby. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end this. So, y'all have a great day. And I'll see y'all in these YouTube streets. Y'all, bye-bye.
Yeah, John, it's really fascinating science. They use